People say the best baseball players of all time. You think of Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, and Hank Aaron. Well, let me tell you that George Brett is up there. He has the most Hall of Fame votes of any player in the history of baseball. We can learn about his history in baseball and his Hall of Fame introduction, not to mention what other people say about him. First, we will slide into his childhood and his high school days, hit our way in the George Brett's professional days as a Major League Baseball player, and then we will catch up to where he's at today in life. First, we will slide into his childhood. In his high school days, George was born May 15, 1953 in Glendale, West Virginia. George is the youngest of 4 children, and all of his brothers were big-time baseball players. His brother Ken pitched in the 1967 World Series, while his other 2 brothers, John and Bobby, both played in the minor leagues for a little while. George's family moved to El Segundo, a suburb outside of Los Angeles. He grew up following in his brother's footsteps, and throughout his high school and his childhood. He was soon a huge success in the high school level and graduated in 1971 from El Segundo. He was the Kansas City Royals' second-round pick in 1971 and the 26th overall pick of the draft. George quickly signed with the Royals and went straight from the high school level to the pro. Now we will hit our way in the George Brett's days as a Major League Baseball player. Well, like most newcomers to the major leagues, George Brett was sent to the minor leagues to begin. He was inducted to his first big league season in 1973 as a utility player for the Kansas City Royals, with not a lot of playing time. In 1974, Brett became the starter for the Royals and worked through some struggles, and by the end of the season had a batting average of .282, according to Uniticket.com. But in 1975, it took off from Brett from then on. He toppled his first 300 mark as he batted .308 in the 75 season. And then in 1976, Brett won his first batting title, and he hit .333 that year. And then he won another batting title in 1980 as he hit .390, which for major leaguers is astounding. Brett won the World Series in 1985 and led the Royals in batting at a .335 average and won his first and only World Series title that year. As he continued to have big-time success in the major leagues, he won another batting title in 1990. In 1992, he became the 18th player to have 3,000 total career hits. He is the only third baseman in the history to have 3,000 career hits, along with 300 career home runs. As just 3 other baseball players have reached this accomplishment, according to Helium.com. During his amazing career, he hit 300 or better in 11 of his 20 big league seasons. Brett wasn't just a third baseman, though. Because he had such adversity, he played a total of 5 positions in his career, which helped make his career even longer. He retired in 1993 from the game of baseball, and just 4 short years later, in 1997, the Kansas City Royals retired the number 5 jersey to show respect to George Brett and show him just how great he was. He ended his career with a .305 batting average, 3,154 hits. In 1999, Brett became a first ballot Hall of Famer with the most votes of any player ever recorded, with 417 votes, according to BaseballAlmanac.com. After he was inducted, there has always been talk if he was one of the best hitters of all time, but we will never know. He has the respect of the baseball world and a lot of players. Robin Yount said, "If there was one player I wanted to be like, it was George Brett." Now we will catch our way what George is up to since he is retired. George became the vice president of the Kansas City Royals and has worked part-time as a batting coach. Him and his brother Ken started making baseball equipment such as Brett bats and Brett baseballs, and he has kept the business going in despite of his brother's death. He married Leslie Davenport in 1992, and they now have 3 sons, who are all playing high school baseball and are big-time MLB prospects coming up. Brett also raises money for ALS, a disease known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Today we have slid into Brett's childhood and high school days. We have hit our way into George Brett's professional days as a Major League Baseball player, and we have caught our way into what George's life is today. We learned that George is one of the all-time great baseball players and said to be one of the best versatile players of all time, according to MLB.com's Royals Greatness. We now understand why he has been inducted into the Hall of Fame and what makes him such a complete individual. So next time you hear Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron's names, just remember George Brett's name is up there too. Thank you.